Chapter 42. K.K.K. A week later, I overheard two older white guys talking about the K.K.K. It caught my attention and gave me flashbacks of reading American history. One of them left out of the block to go to the chow hall, and his address book and a bunch of small notes that he kept in his back pocket fell out. I immediately grabbed it. One of his papers had the numbers of his combination lock, so I went into his locker and gaffled all his cigarettes and coffee and gave it to the brothers that smoked and drank. I also grabbed his legal paperwork from his case. I wasn't shocked to discover that he was locked up for federal civil rights violations, for ordering his underlings to burn a cross on a black family's front lawn in Texas. He was also the leader of that Klan, which are local KKK units, and was a special guest at their annual Imperial Convocation, which is a KKK national conventions. The cops also discovered glass containers of human penises in his home. He explained to them that they were mementos passed down through generations. His great-great-grandfather passed them down to him, and he was passing them down to his grandchildren before he died. There were black men penises who were castrated in the early 1900s. After his conviction and sentence of 4 years, the courts returned the penises. I was incensed. This bona fide fuckboy spoke to me every day like we were cool, but deep inside, I knew he was typical trash. I showed Big Mo and Charlie Mo the paperwork. He was in his 70s, so they asked me to let it pass. He was in bad shape and would probably be dead soon anyway. But I couldn't. My mind was made up. I was gonna crush that cockroach when he returned. I waited in my window, watching until I saw him wobbling down the walkway. Soon as I saw him, I headed straight towards the stairway. Big Mo and Rambo came behind me with their gloves on. As he was coming up, holding on to the rails, I kicked him in his face with my prison-issued steel-toe boots, knocking him back down a flight of steps. As he landed on his back, I was on top of him, kicking him in his face. All I thought about was how I was getting revenge for the many black people he probably killed in his life. His age didn't matter. He deserved to die. He deserved a slow death. Because of Rambo and Big Mo's presence, no one came to his aid. After a few nice kicks, Big Mo grabbed me and pulled me off of him, dragging me up the stairs. The Klan man didn't see who punished him, plus there were no cameras in the stairway, so I got away scot-free. He was taken to a street hospital and never returned to the compound. I never found out whatever happened to that cockroach, but I was glad Big Mo and Rambo were there, or I would have killed them. I then dedicated that beatdown to John Calvin Coolidge, the do-nothing, no-drive Ku Klux Klan American president that my high school was named after.